again, everyone, and welcome to Season 2 of TechCentric.
Season 2.
Season 2 is exciting.
Episode 1 of Season 2.
Episode 1 of Season 2.
Of 2.
Of 2 seasons.
Two
yes,
seasons.
yes. You'll notice that we're at a new set here, something that Nick and I worked on in my basement here. I think it's a lot better than just everywhere.
Various random places.
Random. Who wants random places?
We know as
Consistency.
TechCentric viewers you want consistency.
Consistency is key.
And that's what we're giving you.
Yeah. New stuff, too.
New stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not all we're giving them.
Hopefully
We've got
not.
some new, fresh content coming
New
up.
content. Something else that I'd like to mention is that we got a new system called TC Links that Nick and I worked on, namely Nick programming it and all. But instead of having the big bar with the huge URL, we're just going to have a 6-digit code, kind of like a tiny URL for TechCentric. And that's going to go on the main page, put in the key, and it'll take you to the site we're talking about. So, nice and simple and fast.
Very cool.
So, I hear that Andy, he's new, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, new to them.
New to everyone else, not new to us. He's one of Nick's friends. He's actually rooming with Nick at college right now. But we're bringing him in. He had a segment to do for us, so
We're going to show you some cool Christmas gifts.
definitely.
Per Andy.
Per Andy. So I think they're cool anyway.
Enjoy.
Yeah, enjoy.
Hi, I'm Andy, and I'm here doing the TechCentric Holiday Gift Buying Guide for 2007. Coming up at the first item on our list is the DOS keyboard. DOS keyboard is an interesting innovation with the clicky-style keys like the IBM Model M keyboards that has a completely black finish with no key labels. It teaches your mind to type faster because you have to memorize the entire keyboard layout. Coming in at number 2 is the NVIDIA 8800 GT, a great graphics card for the money with plenty of performance that just recently actually dropped down to about $210. Now, if you're not liking how loud it is, which some people have complained about, you can try getting a passively cooled one, which is unheard of given its performance. Coming in at number 3 is Daft Punk's album Alive 2007, which is an interesting techno album with plenty of, solid beats for any LAN parties or other computer-style stuff that you'd like to do. Coming up at number 4, of course, is balls. There's no reason to, just reserve balls for only Christmas because you can enjoy it year-round. Another interesting item on our list is the Wi-Fi t-shirt. It actually senses wireless signals around you and will light up accordingly. So now you don't have to war drive with a laptop. You can just war drive with wearing this t-shirt. Another interesting energy drink alternative is Chaser's 5-Hour Energy. It's only 2 ounces, so it means you don't have to chug down a huge 20-ounce drink just to get the same effect. And yes, it does last 5 hours. Another interesting item is the Bluetooth laser keyboard. It's like a keyboard replacement, except it's not actually a keyboard at all. It's just a projection of a keyboard onto your desk. Might be an interesting alternative for LAN parties where you want to stand out from the crowd, especially with the lights off. It'll really turn heads. Another interesting item for the more analytical people on your gift list is the ISIS Puzzle Sphere. In this case, the ISIS Puzzle Sphere is run by a company that has also set up a global treasure hunt campaign along with it. In this case, if you buy the sphere and solve it, you can enter the code inside it on their website at a chance to win a couple $1,000s, or you can elect to solve a second one. If you solve the second one, you're guaranteed the $2,000, $3,000 prize. Along with this, on their website, ISIS is offering like a treasure hunt with clues that'll lead you to random, boxes with cash in them, hidden somewhere in Europe, namely the UK or Germany. One man who lived in Britain, who was in the armed forces, actually found the ISIS website, read one of the clues, realized where it was, or thought he knew where it was, in the Alps, like 1,400 miles away. Took a road trip, found it, and won. Talk about a great road trip. For the gamers on your list, more specifically the racers on your list, try buying a Logitech steering wheel. It'll turn any game into a completely different experience, such as Grand Theft Auto or the Gran Turismo series. And for those on your gift list who have efficiency in mind, particularly in a school setting, try buying them a tablet PC. It's great for classroom demonstrations and projects where you can just write right on the screen and, like make a personalized touch to any PDFs you have, or in this case, like I went through a semester in college with a teacher who would do all the code just written out, to give us like a step-by-step instruction rather than just relying on slides that never change. And if you can't afford a regular PC, try buying an Asus EEE PC. At $400, this tiny laptop with only like a 7-inch screen is a great alternative to a full-size $2,000 laptop if you're going off to college. And for anyone interested in photography on your list, try the Canon SX100. It's a power shot with an SLR quality picture, but in this case, it's only $250 rather than like an SLR that'll run you $700. And that about wraps up TechCentric's holiday gift buying guide. So I'm TechCentric Andy, signing off.
So well, that was pretty helpful. I think I'm definitely gonna buy some things on those guides.
I wish I had money.
I get some credit, not debit. No, not debit. What are they called? Gift cards. Get some gift cards I could use.
Gift vouchers?
Vouchers?
Vouchers for gift giving.
Yeah, so I'm gonna buy some of that stuff. That's cool. Thank you, Andy.
Thanks, bud.
So coming up next, well, you're doing, instead of a VoIP segment, you're doing something with your Q?
Still phones. Still got phones.
Okay, we're back on phones.
Venturing a little bit more into the cellular world here. Despite all the painstaking work I put into developing the technique to get internet off of the Razr, I bought a Motorola Q from Sprint. This device, unlike the Razr, kind of has all the features that you kind of have to hack into the Razr already built in. And I hope to bring a lot of cool little hacks for that. I don't got that many right now. Some basic stuff to get you started on your Motorola Q. The cellular industry in America has transformed the way everybody communicates, be it by voice, pictures, text, video now, who knows. The convergence of all of these different ways of communication and the means to get them to one another has transformed everything immensely. Different devices out there, starting out with the BlackBerry, basically revolutionizing the whole portable computer market, whatever you want to call it, up to cool devices now like the Motorola Q9M, various other devices. The Sidekick kind of played a huge role in the whole revolution there. Anyways, we're going to be talking today mostly about the Motorola Q. Now, not to be confused with the Motorola Q9, which is the Verizon version, which is a little bit more multimedia oriented. The standard Motorola Q, which I happen to have from Sprint, is geared towards, I don't want to say the business user, but geared towards somebody that values productivity over, say, toys like video playing and stuff like that. That's not to mention that you can't do that on the Q. The device just isn't built for it. Anyways, if you've never seen one before, Motorola Q looks pretty much just like any regular standard smartphone that you have today. It's got a full QWERTY keyboard, it's illuminated, it's got a side click wheel on the side, it's got a screen, obviously, it's color, it's very vibrant, very capable of watching videos, listening to music, etc. It runs on an Intel X-Scale processor, which clocks in at 304, I wanted to say miles an hour. That was obnoxious. 304 megahertz. It is overclockable slightly by some standard little software hacks, which we'll get into today. Some other notable features: it has a mini SD slot on the side for expansion, what have you. And it's available on a variety of carriers. Mine happens to be through Sprint. You can get them from mostly anybody. Anyways, the first hack that we're going to be talking about is the ever-popular speed hack for the Motorola Q. Now, this hack is done by editing 2 registry files in the system registry on the Q. This can be done 2 ways. You can either do it on the Q itself, or you can download a software application to your computer plug it in via the USB port, and do it that way. That being said, there's a variety of registry editors available for mainly. First one is Mobile Registry Editor. This is the one that requires a computer to be operated. My personal favorite is the PHM Registry Editor. It runs right on the Q. You don't need a computer at all, even to install it or anything like that. You can grab that at the link at the bottom of the screen. Once you have the registry editor installed, you're going to navigate on the Q itself to the registry key, HQ local machine, system, GDI, glyph cache. I don't know what it means, not quite sure. You're going to change the number from there up to a higher number, which we'll have in the show notes for you. I'm not quite sure what this actually does. I'm assuming it just changes some inner workings of the Q software itself, Windows Mobile 5, into operating a little quicker, but it does actually give you a noticeable speed increase. There's also another key that you're going to need to change. That'll be in the show notes as well. I don't want to sit here and ramble off registry keys. The next little enhancement, I wouldn't call it a hack per se, the next little enhancement that we're going to do applies to text messaging. Now, if you've ever text messaged on a Q, you know that every time you send that SMS message off, it confirms that you sent it with a little info window saying message sent, and it requires you to acknowledge that and hit OK. The big issue with this arises if you try to send an SMS to multiple recipients. You get that message sent window for every recipient, so it becomes pretty annoying and irritating. This can also be fixed with a registry edit. There's also a CAD file out there that you can download straight to the phone, and it just runs and does the registry editing itself. You don't need to actually go into the registry to do it. So I mean, if this is the only tweak that you're going to apply to your phone, just do that one. Just run the CAD file. That's going to be in the show notes as well. So the Intel X-Scale processor in the Q that powers everything in the device has something called CPU scaling, which allows the device to either scale itself up or down depending on battery life or various other things like that. Algorithms, fancy stuff. Anyways, there's ways to override this, also tweakable in the registry. You can, in a sense, it's not technically overclocking your Q, but it is enhancing the speed, and it is enhancing and increasing the running, the clock speed of the processor up to 314 megahertz. This key is located HK local machine, drivers, built-in /IPM. You're going to change that value to 0 and restart the phone, and if it turns back on, that's a good thing. It means your Q is now running a little bit faster. Whether it's a noticeable increase, I'm not sure. I haven't tried it myself. And if your phone doesn't turn on, you're kind of out of luck because you just bricked your phone. Anyways, this has been Q-Tips with Will and Nick. Actually, he's actually there. Hopefully, this segment was a little bit basic. I didn't have a whole lot of information to go off of. I'm just trying to show you that the Q is a very easily hackable device, being that it does actually run on a version of Windows operating system. And with that, there's a lot of open possibilities and open windows in the system itself for you to change and tweak things and add features as you see fit. So I hope in the future I'll be able to show you some more cool little toys we can do, some little applications, maybe do some programming for the device, and stay tuned, see what we got.
One little question before we go. Have you heard of anyone using that overclock hack and burning out the chip?
I haven't heard anything about that, and there's a lot of forum correspondence that goes on with these things. Yeah. There's a bunch of websites. Basically, the people that are willing to overclock their phone are almost willing to brick them, because nobody actually overclocks a phone. So I have a feeling if somebody actually bricked their phone by overclocking it, they wouldn't necessarily be bragging about it or asking for help, because it's pretty much a stupid thing to do in the beginning. It's just kind of a cool little tidbit to mess around with.
Do at your own risk.
Yeah, perform all these hacks at your own risk.
So, Will, that was pretty cool.
Thanks.
Overclocking the Q. That's something I would have never thought to do.
Among other things, but yeah. Like I said, there's just some basic things to get you started playing around with Q, get you a little more comfortable with maybe the registry and some of the inner workings and some of the specifications that the Q has. There's 1,000,001 different things you can do with this little device, and hopefully we're going to show you at least 1,000,001 of them.
Alright, cool. So coming up next, I've got my part 2 of the Wii, controlling the Wii as a human interface device.
On
Device, yeah.
We should do a segment
Windows.
where we hook the Wii device up to the Q and control the Q with the Wii.
You throw it across the room.
Next month.
Next month. Yeah, okay. Alright, that's coming up next. Hello everyone again, this is Steve, and obviously I needed to finish up that Wii segment that I did last season. How many months was that ago? But anyway, I know by now, I'm sure everyone has seen this, but I wanted to just cover this and finish it up. This is the Wii remote, obviously, and last time I showed you guys how to connect it to your computer and also how to use the motion sensor in the program Wii remote to control your mouse, cursor, whatever you may have with motion sensing by tilting the Wii remote. But this time I'm going to go and show you how to use IR LEDs, or some people have used candles, or any type of heat-emitting device that's compact enough to use by your computer, to actually point at the screen at a certain place and have it go to that with your cursor. So we're going to go back into Wii remote here. Wii remote, two eyes, yeah. Wii remote, and we need to go to options and go to preferences. And under general, you'll see it says you can use the motion sensor, the IR sensor, or the nunchuck controller to control your cursor. So we're going to choose IR sensor. A little bit farther down, there's cursor speed, and you can change that accordingly. I think low on the fast and high on the slow is good. Just apply that. And then down the bottom here, we click Enable Cursor. And now my setup here, I know I have this in an aluminum foil box, but that's all I have for the moment. I have two IR LEDs from Radio Shack, 5 volts, both connected to the batteries here, two AAAs, and that's about 3 volts going to two 5-volt LEDs. Not the most powerful thing, and not the best schematic in the world either, but it works for the time being. I'm actually working on a better bar to use with this setup, but powered off of USB, and I'm going to be putting the schematics on either the show notes or some other place, maybe the extras page. Now let's get into this. So we have the cursor enabled. If you look down here in the IR sensor section of the Wii remote screen, you'll see that it shows up with 2 lights or more, depending on how many IR LEDs you have. I think the IR LEDs are a little bit safer than maybe stacking candles on your computer. I don't know about you, but I don't like fire over by my computer components, but it's fine with me. So I use IR LEDs, like I said. You'll see both of them on the IR sensor, and you can basically just point at your screen and move it around. I mean, you'll have to kind of stay within the restrictions of your IR LEDs here. But basically, you're pointing there, you can control the cursor. But if you go into, say, WordPad or something, let's do that real quick. You'll notice that when you type in the minus and plus, you'll get characters and such. It's just something quick to show you. Also, you can configure all the buttons on the Wii remote, also on the nunchuck, to do any of your computer actions that you may want, keystrokes usually. I have my B button here configured to do left mouse click, A is right mouse click, left here, or minus is left double click, and so on and so forth. When you have your nunchuck connected, you can also control the mouse using the nunchuck joystick and configure the C and Z buttons, but unfortunately you can't do both at the same time with this program. I know there's another program out there, GlovePie, and there's some scripting involved with that, and I'm sure somebody's probably figured it out by now how to transmit both of those over the Bluetooth. Right now I'm just using Wii remote because it's easy, but maybe in the future we'll get back into scripting with that and see if we can figure out how to use the IR sensor as well as the joystick at the same time, and maybe get a little bit of first-person shooter action going on there. But I've tried this with Counter-Strike. I have to say it's rather hard because the delay in Bluetooth, so unfortunately it's not necessarily good for gaming. Other uses might be for media center PCs, or maybe people that have carpal tunnel. That'd be a nice switch to using a mouse, a Wii-mote. But anyway, so that's, like I said, a quick overview. I know a lot of people, you've already seen this on maybe YouTube, other IPTV shows, but I figured, hey, I've already done half of it, why don't I finish it up? So that's the other half there, controlling the Wii remote with Win Remote and Bluetooth. And so that's the end of the segment. See you guys later. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, though, my email is steve@techcentric.org, as always, and all the links and, like I said, the schematics for the new IR sensor that I'm going to be building are going to be in the show notes or on the extras page. Alright, have a nice day. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that Wii segment. Hopefully I'm going to be doing some more things with the Wii Remote or other consoles coming up in the future.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Tabek's going to show us how to save a couple of greenbacks, a couple of Benjamins, a couple of big ones, a couple of clams on your phone bill there by doing a little SMS text messaging workaround. So we'll go to that.
You get any more analogies?
No more analogies for money. Not
All right.
quite.
SMS, more commonly known to most people, especially teenagers, simply as text messaging, is quickly becoming a popular medium for communication. It's quick and silent, and you can do it without being too invasive or annoying other people. However, unless you go for your carrier's unlimited plan, usually you'll find that they try to screw you out with 10, 15, 20, even 25 cent per message fees. Now, if you use this on a regular basis, your bill's quickly going to rack up into hundreds and hundreds of dollars. That's a bit of a problem. So, I've looked around and I've tried to come up with a way to try and get that hundreds and hundreds of dollars to something a little less, without breaking the bank or taking too much of stuff you don't already have. Now, in order to do this, we're going to need a few things. First off, we're going to need an accessible web server somewhere with a copy of PHP installed. Now, I'll get into the specifics of why or what all needs to be going on with that in a second, but along with that, you're going to need a copy of the script that, if you check the show notes, or there's probably a link ID popping up on your screen right now, where to get it, you're going to need a copy of that, and you're also going to need to open that up before you upload it to your server and edit to add your email address to it. The third thing you're going to need is a flip-out account from Teleflip. Teleflip is a free email to SMS service for all carriers. It used to be you didn't even need to register, but recently, due to continued spam, they've needed to resort to free registration. So you're going to need to register, but unless you intend on hoping for people to respond to you, you can use any throwaway address you want, and they won't send you anything anyway, so if you're worried about that, I see no reason to use a normal address. But the last thing you need is a cell phone with a basic web browser and access to the internet. Now, if you can't get any form of internet access on the phone or any device you're going to be sending this from, you're really not going to get anywhere with it. But the script still works from a PC as well. So if you want to do it from your computer, that's fine too. Now, like I said, you're going to need a copy of the script, which, again, I've taken some time, I've written it, I've tested it, it works, at least for us. The one thing you need to do is, after you register for your flip-out account, there's a line that you need to enter your email address in, the one you registered for Teleflip with. Now, this is so you can authenticate and it realizes it's from you and not someone else. And so Teleflip will actually send the message. Now, once you've got that script edited and uploaded, and you've tested it with a web browser, like just on whatever computer you've uploaded it with, you can go ahead and access it from your cell phone and try sending a message. Now, one thing I'd recommend at this point is your URL is probably going to be really long, depending on whatever domain or server you've got, and it might be tedious typing that in on your cell phone keypad, especially if you don't have a full QWERTY keypad like I just have a Razer. But you might want to take advantage of any bookmarks or favorites your mobile phone's browser provides you with, so that you can get there quicker and use the service a little more and expedite the process of sending your messages. Basically, once you access the script, you're just going to enter your recipient's 10-digit cell phone number, just basically 3-digit area code, 3-digit prefix, 4-digit suffix, all smashed together. Don't do any hyphens or slashes or any of that fun stuff, or add a 1 if you're used to dialing like that. You're just going to enter the phone number and the message and click submit. And what the script is going to do is, once you've done that, it will send an email using the email address you've provided, or at least claiming that it's from that, to Teleflip, who will then forward it on to your carrier, who will forward it onto your phone, and you'll get the message, yada yada, blah. There are some pros and cons to this, so you kind of need to be wary. First off, it's email-based. So if you're wary of email, or your carrier has a really, really stupid SMTP to SMS gateway, you might find that your messages take a while to get to their destination, especially if there's a long queue on your carrier's end. Nothing we can do about it, not to mention you're jumping through at least 4 hoops here. So you got to keep that in mind, and that's also a privacy issue for the tin hats like Jared. You also can't use your phone's address book to look up your phone number, so you're going to need to scribble it on a piece of paper or be reciting it to yourself in your head as you start your message. But if you can get past all that, and you don't mind that your friend may or may not be able to respond, assuming your carrier isn't as stingy with your internet billing, you can usually get away with a message for a really small fraction of the cost. You can probably get away with it for, well, I'm paid per kilobyte, I can probably do it in about 5 cents, as opposed to 15. You also don't have the 5 pages of itemized bill saying text message, text message, text message. You just have the one thing saying how much internet you've used. So if you're a kid whose parents look through the bill, they don't see so many. And you can also, I didn't exactly design it this way, but you can go back and modify it yourself if you have the right know-how. And you can turn the script into a simple broadcast system. Say you're in an office complex and you want to get some kind of bulletin out to all your employees. You can modify my script a little bit. I don't care. In addition to being able to get at it from your phone or your smartphone or any mobile device with internet connectivity, you can do it through the computer or any other major appliance as well. As long as it can access the page, you're good. Now, again, like I said, I designed this to be really, really basic, and I didn't really plan to spend much time on it. And as such, right now it's streamlined to be as slim and small of a file size that it's sent into your phone as possible to help with your billing. But if you wanted to, you can change things around. You could add your own phone book. The possibilities are endless. But I'm just going to leave it with what you've got. You can send some of your more advanced versions back to us. But that about wraps it up. I'm Nick. If you want to email me or get in touch with me, the forums are great. If you want to email me directly, it's nick@techcentric.org, PBX 866-667-1337, extension 1339, and that's about it.
Oh, hey Nick, what's up?
Hey Steve, what's going on?
Is there a Will went?
I think he said something about PBX and fire and kind of just ran off.
Oh, well, that's like Will. Anyway,
Yeah.
Is he coming back?
I think so. I think he'll be back in a minute.
Okay, good. Alright, anyway. So that was pretty cool, though, with your phone.
Yeah.
Saving a couple bucks on your bill, huh?
Saved me money, at least.
Definitely. That's cool. So, what do we got coming up next?
I think we have something internet related too. I think Surfing with Steve.
Surf with Steve is up next.
Awesome.
Enjoy. Hello again, everyone. This is Steve for another segment of Surfing with Steve. I have another 2 sites for you guys today. I'm really excited about both of these. One of them is wikifortio.com. I'm not exactly sure how that's pronounced, but Wikifortio is how it's spelled. This was recommended by Nick of our own TechCentric crew, and I think it's a great site. I mean, it's similar to those like Mega Upload and all that other junk, but it's an upload site, and basically it's got some nice features. You can upload a file up to 100 meg, and so you basically just browse for it and upload it. It takes a couple seconds, and when you upload it, you'll get an ID of the file that's on their server. So you'll get a 6-digit number, kind of like our TC link IDs. And you'll have a link for it to download, a forum link, an edit link, so you can go back and edit these nice features they have. You can change the storage period of the actual file on their server, so you can have it disappear after a day if it's something important that you don't want on there forever. Also, you can put down your email, so you can have the resulting addresses sent to your email. And you can put a little description for it. But one thing I saw that was nice about this site that most other sites don't have is you can password protect your file. You can put in a password, confirm it, and then when you give somebody the link, you can tell them the password for it, and then they can download it exclusively. So that's Wiki4dio. I think it's a nice upload service that has a few features that others don't. My next site is, of course, Deal Extreme. I know Nick knew about this a long time before my dad did, but he actually recommended it to me, my dad. And it's like this, I don't know, I don't want to say eBay store, but it's kind of like one of those cheap Hong Kong eBay stores that has a nice, nice system. They have it going on there. Basically, it's like all that stuff that you would buy on eBay that costs like 99 cents, and then it's like $40 shipping. But the nice thing about this is, they literally are like 40 cents, but it's free shipping. The cheap Hong Kong stuff, the like card readers, and I don't know what else. They have like magnets and stuff, everything you'd want that's like a cheap little gadget or toy or something from like Hong Kong, Japan, so on and so forth. They have actually, something I saw on there that was really cool was green laser pointers. I know this actually costs a lot. I know on ThinkGeek they're about, I want to say 100 to 200 still. And on here they run from about $17 and up. Now I think that's kind of cool. Don't go burning your parents or anything, but that's pretty cheap. That's a good price, and like I said, free shipping. They have new stuff like literally almost every day. You can sign up for an RSS feed to see all their new items and everything, and literally new things every day. But I would definitely recommend that. Check it out. It's really cool. I've already bought a bunch of things. Unfortunately, there's one thing about it that is, the downside is the shipping's a little slow. It takes about 2 weeks. So just order a bunch of things at once. Alright, and this has been another segment of Surfing with Steve. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, my email is steve@techcentric.org, and that's all for now.
Alright, so Steve, if I was a total cheapo, and I didn't take Andy's advice and purchase something useful or nice for a friend or loved one or whatever for Christmas, I could go to Deal Extreme and buy imported items from Hong Kong.
Right.
Sweet. That's, you know what you're all getting for Christmas? Items from Deal Extreme. That's what I'll say. That's what I'll say about that.
Wii-shaped whistles. Wii-mote. Anyway,
Sweet.
So this has been TechCentric episode 8, which is episode 1 of season 2. Anything you want to say?
No, just want to thank the usual. You know who you are. Infonomicon, always awesome. BinRev, whatever. Just keep checking out the website, all that stuff. We're going to be back, hopefully a little bit more regularly.
Real soon.
And hopefully with some more cool, fresh content like we stated before. Anyways, this has been TechCentric, episode 8. We hope you enjoyed it. www.techcentric.org. Check us out.
That is all.
Word sudo, like the command in Linux, the words of the actual word sudo.
Okay.
Which you pronounce Suede-o.
Correct. Yes.
So you're completely incorrect.
Oh man.
I've been proven wrong.
It's not Suede-o. Suede-o is not a word. Maybe some kind of coat is made of Suede-o. I think you're thinking of suede. Some kind of men's
My blue
jackets.
Suede-o shoes.
Men's Suede-o jackets, $49.99 Old Navy.
Blue Suede-o
Suede-o
shoes.
as in a word. Old Navy. It's not a. It's pseudo. Pseudo. Larry say Suede-o again.
TechCentric is proudly presented under a Creative Commons share-alike license.